What's going on, guys? My name is the Demon. Today, let's talk about Summer Suzume, whether or not you should summon, and all that good stuff. So, before we get into it, the short answer is no. But let's talk about something that happened, right? So, I'm not gonna get into my life, right? It's about the game, right? I have 230 boss tickets here, and because I forgot that this event's leaving today, I got lazy. I kept stalling. I'm like, yeah, I'll play it later. I'll play it later. I'll play it later. And next thing you know, the event's gone, and I couldn't use up all my tickets. And 230 tickets. Hey man, that's like 8 boss runs that could have gotten me like maybe like 6 to 9 extra summer Kokoro shards, and now I don't have those, and now I'm sad. So now you know not to procrastinate, and now you'll do good in uni. You'll have a great job, and it's all thanks to my amazing advice and insight. So you're welcome. You're welcome, everyone. But before we talk about her, I have to show another thing. Right? Let's stall even more. So I want to showcase my Guildhouse, right? I was able to buy a couple of furniture. Remember, these furnitures are limited, so make sure to go check them out and see what you like and buy and stuff and decorate the house and stuff. I don't really care too much about decoration, but I care about limited stuff, and this is limited, so I went ahead and I bought them. So as you can see in my floor 1 as well, I just buy a couple of stuff that are limited and put them all together, and hey, that's what I like to do, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now let's talk about Summer Suzume, right? Why you guys are all here, and yeah, again, like I said, should you summon? No. And I hear a lot of stories about people saying like, hey, she's my wife, I kind of like her. Well, in that case, you don't really need my advice, right? And if you do really like her and you're free to play, I still think you should not summon. And here's why. Well, there's a free version of Suzume. Do you need every single version? Probably not. And 45,000 jewels is a heavy investment. And you might say, yeah, I might get lucky, get there in advance, but that's not the mentality you want to go into a gacha game, right? Whenever you want to summon on a gacha game, you want to go with the worst case scenario. Hope for the best, but expect the worst. And if the worst case happens, you're spending half of the jewels we got since launch on a character that's not even that good. Because since launch, we probably got 90 to 100,000 jewels. You're spending potentially half of that on a character that you won't use much. Like, is that worth it? Probably not, right? So remember, don't summon for waifu if you're free to play unless they're at least somewhat decent. And her, she's actually pretty interesting. So let's take a look at her. The game describes her as a clumsy maid who offers support from the rear guard. She boosts allies' defense and provide HP regen while also summoning golems. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love summons, but I'm still not going to summon. So, her Union Burst, small boost to all allies' physical and magical defense, grants HP to all allies. HP regen, sorry. So, the cool thing about HP regen is that maybe you don't need the healing at the moment, and it could work over time to heal you whenever you do need the heal. Maybe you take chip damage, maybe you take small damage, and at the end it could add up to more. But sometimes you just want a full heal real quick, and sometimes the full heal is going to go to waste. So this has its benefits and downsides. But the small boost again has a downside, which is it could have been a medium boost to either physical or magical. And if it was, it could have been great for magical teams, but this allows her to be good for like characters that are good at both, right? Think about Pecorine, think about Nozomi, maybe Jun, maybe even Shizuru. Not Shizuru, but think about those 3, right? They're good against magical and physical. So this is very nice for them, right? Think about stall team in PvP. This can be very, very annoying, right? You stall them for long enough, you charge your Union Burst of Suzume, you put her up there, and suddenly she's super annoying, right? Because she's giving all that extra defense to the stall team. Skill 1 will summon the mini golem. Okay, and it's actually a pretty cool, cute golem. It's a nice one. It's a cool one, and he's actually pretty tanky. Like, he can take maybe a hit, not more than 2-3 hits, but he's not insane. But it's still better than the other summons we've seen in the game. It's not gonna die in 1 hit necessarily, and it also attacks the enemy in front. So it's gonna add an extra character to your team, which is cool. However, there's a big downside to summons, which is when they die, they give your enemy a lot of TP boost, a lot of TP charge, right? Consider it's counted as a kill. So the other ones that die in 1 hit are terrible. This one's going to take a bit more, but still going to die relatively often, giving them a lot of TP. So in PvP, for example, you're going to give someone in their team their Union Burst faster, right? Now, if you have a stall team, it could be counteracted, but at the same time, it's still dangerous. It's still dangerous to have. But again, remember, it still does provide support, right? You can buff this thing, and it will deal damage, and it will tank. It could save a unit, for example. So it's not a bad thing, but you should remember that there's a trade-off, which is you're giving them Union Burst, and their Union Burst, if it's AoE, like Minon, like Pecorine, like Ilya, well, is just gonna kill everyone. So, you want to make sure that the trade-off is worth it. And in this case, oftentimes it's not, right? Even against bosses, they will get their union burst faster, and then they might kill you. So, it's not that great. Okay, so skill 2, moderate boost to magical defense of all allies in a radius around the first guy, like the frontest ally. So that's again pretty cool, right? The stall team, because the union burst in arena is not going to happen often, right? And this against the stall team on defense, maybe, yeah, but the skill 2 is going to proc all the time, right? So that's where it's cool, because you're going to give that extra stall against Ilya, for example, that extra immunity. But again, you're good against Ilya, maybe Kyoka, maybe Hatsune. You're going to be good against those. And maybe not Ilya, but definitely Hatsune and Kyoka. But then what do you do against magical guys? You only have your Union Burst. And so is that worth replacing Maho, for example? For that HP regen? She does give the TP boost. You're giving your enemies a TP boost from the golem, right? So just keep that in mind. She's a bit tanky. She gives herself a magical defense at the start of the battle, so that's pretty nice. And all in all, she's not that great, right? So again, like against bosses, she will give them their TP faster, but the golem can help. The buffs are nice. It's nice. Support characters are good, but there are better support characters. So where exactly can you use her? There's no content in the game according to what I've seen, and I watched like 4 or 5 YouTubers on this game. I read the Discord according to a lot of people, and by a lot I mean everyone that's talked about her. She's not important in any type of content. And that's important to keep in mind, right? 45,000 jewels for someone you'll pretty much never use. And if you do want to use her, you have to go out of your way to fit her somewhere. Well, there are other better supports. Honestly, unless she's your favorite character in Princess Connect, and even then, if you can withstand from summoning, I recommend withstanding, right? When people say waifu over meta, that's not true. Waifu that is meta is better than meta, all right? There we go. But waifu over meta doesn't really make sense for a free-to-play player because, yeah, like the game, it's going to cost you half the jewels we've gotten since launch. So are you willing to sacrifice 6 months or like 3 months worth of gems for a character that you like that much? I wouldn't say it's worth it, right? If she's your favorite character in all of anime of all time, then maybe. But if it's just your favorite character in Princess Connect, skip. All right, guys, hopefully this helped. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and peace.